Father Joel is always people-oriented.
He doesn't exclude anybody.
Father Joel is surely an educational leader.
He is a visionary.
Everyone's epitome of an advocate.
Yeah, he transforms us. He transforms lives.
He was president of the Loyola School of Theology in Ateneo. Then he was president of Ateneo de Naga University, and then he was president of Ateneo de Davao University. And not only that, he became president of different educational associations like CAP, like PAASCU, and he was instrumental in the PAYAC, the Private Education Assistance Committee. So his contribution to educational system in the Philippines in general is really clear.
He was at the forefront sa discussions on the K-12 implementation, yung mga issues involving or affecting private education. Very active si Father Joel in asserting yung voice ng private education on how the non-payment of tuition fees, no, and letting students take final exams without paying the tuition payment could have adverse impacts, especially to the little private Catholic schools.
What are the school's rights?
Father Joel studied the Constitution of the Philippines very deeply, and he took on this particular phrase, and that became our main advocacy in private education. Complementarity of private and public education, which means that the government should provide more resources to strengthen private education in the country.
Even before it even became a DepEd order, even before it became a priority issue of EDCOM 2, CAP has been talking about complementarity, and largely because of the work of the Advocacy Commission chaired by Father Joel. Father Joel was very strong about regionalization, very strong about CAP being felt by all the schools, and that it does not just come to life once a year during the convention. And so we started working on the revision of the bylaws of the CAP. Solidarity versus subsidiarity. Yes, we are one association of Catholic schools, but we'll have to respect the different contexts and circumstances of the regions and allow the regions to also be felt by their member schools.
Father Joel sees Mindanao as rich in terms of resources. If we want to preserve the culture of people, we have to preserve also the environment. So that's why his involvement in terms of anti-mining, anti-illegal logging, anti-destruction of rivers, it's also transformative in such a way that students will imbibe their love and protection of the environment.
What best exemplifies his being for God and country was his strong stance on environmental protection and social justice. I like what he said. We take a stand back from doing what is most efficient in order to take a stand for the environment. And he has even criticized or called out the DENR for prioritizing profit over, the moral imperative. Yung kanyang support for BARM and the IPs of Mindanao, Indigenous Peoples of Mindanao. So ito talaga yung demonstrates his commitment to the common good and nation building.
Ang kailangan po ng Bangsamoro people is edukasyon. Kasi due to conflicts and yung mga tinatawag po na struggles po, kaya hindi po masyado nabibigyan ng focus ang edukasyon. Kulang po actually ng mga learning materials. So, So, nung dumating po itong si MVP, nagkaroon po sila ng support program para po sa mga LACs na yon. And nagkaroon pa rin po ng mga trainings for teachers, for admins, and for students.
Father Joel's leadership of Ateneo and CAP was instrumental in providing meaningful support for the Bangsamoro region so that peace and justice can be promoted in Mindanao for our sisters and brother Muslims.
His faith life and his role as a priest is not just confined to ministering the sacraments. It's also implemented, it's also seen or manifested when he crafts policy paper, thoughtful speeches when he addresses the CEAP or other public fora.
Father Joel's roots in terms of being a Jesuit leader come from his love for the poor. The advocacy for social justice, that would be his priority. One of his initial apostolates would be the Kristong Hari parish in the urban poor area in Commonwealth, Quezon City.
And there he really interacted with the members of the community around. And then he also became part of this network, the Urban Land Reform Task Force, which enabled him to directly interact with urban poor leaders. So that was very important, having direct contact with the poor.
And after that, he would be one of the founders of the Jesuit institution called Institute of Church and Social Issues.
And at that time, they were pushing for an urban land reform law. And he was able to communicate this effectively with influential people. So that was very important, having direct contact with the poor. And there's no substitute for that. To represent their aspirations, their grievances very well, because he was very much in touch with them.
All of these because we are called to have faith that does justice. So this has been his battle cry, or this has been the overarching imperative that he has been drumming into the institutions he leads. Father Joel consistently emphasized the importance of academic freedom as essential to the pursuit of truth and development of critical thinking.
Our trademark is dialogue.
I think Father Joel is a very good example of one who was willing to talk with everybody, rich or poor. Advocacy should be an inclusive process, and there is greater strength if people are really in solidarity.
Yeah, because of what value is being academically excellent if you do not have a social conscience? Of what value is being academically excellent if you do not want to contribute to the common good? And that's Father Joel.